Vision, Channel 15 Sports, Public Access Television here at St. Peter's Field for the Junior Babe Ruth Championship. And tonight, when we're finished playing, we will have a champion. This is the deciding game, the rubber game. Each team has won one game. It's a three-game series. You're looking at Rutland Town in the dark blue uniforms as they're getting introduced. And I'll just give you the whole roster now. I don't know if it's in the right sequence of the people you see out there, but I'll tell you who's playing for Rutland Town. Mike McMahon will wear number 6. Number 8 is Mike Howe. Number 12 is Matt Consolati. Eric Mack is number 11. Joe Garrow is number 5. Ben Senecal 4. Taylor Booth, number 10. Scott Terrio is number 9. Mac Shea is number 15. Drew Allen 3. Nick Pennington 7. And Mike Leonard, number 13. And just to catch you up to date, because when I left you at the conclusion of the game that we did here against St. Peter's Field, which was a 10-3 post-31 victory, I was unaware that, first of all, it was a three-game series. That's kind of a nuisance back when I played and coached in this league. And that's been a long time. And also the fact that they already had a game played at Rutland Town winning that 17-13. They came from a 12-1 deficit to overcome Rutland City post-31. And then on Saturday, in the game that I televised here for Channel 15, post-31 winning 10-3. So a lot of runs, actually, in the game. You take a 17-13, that's 30 runs in one game combined. And now you'll see post-31 come out in their red uniforms. And then a 10-3 is 13, so you have 43 runs in two games. So, and now I'll do the same thing. I'm quite a distance away, so I'll cue it in on the players coming out, lining up on the third baseline for Rutland City post-31, and tell you their entire roster. Troy Davin wears number 12. Number 18 is Ryan Hammond. Brian O'Rourke is number 5. Kyle Samersky wears number 8. Charles Gardner is 19. Robert Grusso, 22. Mike Triller will wear number 2. 10 is Nate Swan. Number 9 is Greg Roy. Max Battles wears 16. Number 14 is Joe Beelan. Cody Badgler is number 17. Mike Messier is number 15. And number 4 is Steve Tile. And in case you haven't guessed it yet, Post 31 will be the home team tonight. They'll get the last at-bat, so they'll be in the field defensively first. And that's where I'll set you up. With that defensive alignment, we'll have number 1, the pitcher's position, number 1 will be Brian O'Rourke. He'll be on the mound. His catcher will be Nate Swan. Max Battles will be at first base. Robert Russo will play second. Kyle Samersky is your third baseman. Troy Davin is the shortstop. Ryan Hammond is in center. Charles Gardner is in left. Your right fielder is Greg Roy. And EH will be Mike Triller. And Channel 15's website is www.pegtv.com. Their phone number is 747-0151. And they're located in Building 24 at the House Center. Again, I'm Jerry Munger bringing you this decided game. This will be it. They'll play until we have a winner tonight. The Junior Babe Ruth Championship for 2006, only on Channel 15 Sports. We'll be back with that opening pitch. So Brian O'Rourke's taking his final warm-ups. The catcher's thrown down to second base. We're good to go. We're going to have the first 4 due up here for Rutland Town in the dark blue uniforms. We'll have Mike McMahon, Mike Howe, Matt Consolati, and Eric Mack due up. And yes, it is true. That's Dave Cahill behind the catcher calling balls and strikes. One of the legends, one of the icons of the youth baseball sports scene. Decades, I mean, of experience back there. He was calling games when I was still coaching, and that was decades and decades ago. The man does a great job. O'Rourke will drop that one in there for a strike. The outfield playing actually pretty shallow right now, and they're straight up, not favoring left or right field, but I'll tell you right now, there is a stiff wind, not a breeze. There's a wind blowing. Strike right there in the outside corner. 2 strikes now. On that leadoff batter for Rutland Town, Mike McMahon. It is a hitter's wind, too. It is blowing. The flag out in center field is just straight out from home base to center field. Oh, got him with a curveball, came back and threw it, and got the strikeout on Mike McMahon. Beautiful sequencing of pitching there. And I'll bring up Mike Howe. Remember, Brian O'Rourke started the second game here at St. Peter's Field in center field. Moved to shortstop and was flawless, and they've got him on the mound for the big game. Mike Howe, who's at the plate, he will be the pitcher for Rutland Town tonight. That'll be too low and be a ball. Again, just to recap, this was a 3-game series. Game number 1 was taken by Rutland Town, 17-13, up in Rutland Town. They came back from a 12-1 deficit to win that game. That pitch came in high for a ball. Then in Game 2, which was broadcast here from St. Peter's Field on public access television, Post 31 won that game 10-3. So here we are tonight, and it's all on the line, and an excellent crowd on both sides, first base side and that third base side. It's a beautiful night to be here. Nice and cool, no humidity, and that breeze is comforting to be around. That'll be low, and we'll have a 3-ball count now. So O'Rourke, who started the evening off with a strikeout, we'll go to that full windup, and the pitch on the way right there for a strike. And they don't use the scoreboard here for the senior or junior Babe Ruth. Like, I wish they'd fix that, but I believe it's a full count now. And yes, that's what Mr. Cahill behind the mound, or behind the catcher, saying. And that's a good job. That was a great pitch. Would have been strike 3, and a good job by Mike Howe to follow it off, get a bat on the ball, and stay alive with the 2 strikes. Matt Consolati, who had a big game Saturday, had the bat. He's on deck for Rutland Town. And that'll be high. We'll have a walk. Have our first base runner in Howe. Mack will be on deck. Eric Mack and Matt Consolati at the plate. Like I said, did a nice job in Saturday's ball game. Now O'Rourke will go to the stretch for the first time this evening, and he warmed up in the stretch, which I think was a great move on his part, just so that he's warmed up and comfortable, ready to go from both ways. That's a great pitch on the inside corner, called a strike. Now, there was a ton of base running action in Saturday's game. Right now, the runner at first base, Howe, with a very conservative lead, and being held on down there by Max Battles. And that's going to be right to Davin at short. He's going to maybe get one. Yeah, he'll get just the one. And then the runner at first, of course, was safe, so they'll get the second out on the force out. It was a pretty hard hit ball, and Davin able to knock it down. As Consolati really stung that. So there's 1 on, 2 down, and Eric Mack up, the shortstop for Rutland Town. Eric Mack was very impressive in the field Saturday here at St. Peter's Field with his defensive skill, his strong arm, his good lateral movement. Just a great athlete anyways. Like I said, in Saturday's game, if you want to see him really with some jets on his feet, go down and catch him playing hockey down at the field house. Very, very good hockey player. And he will jump back from that pitch that came inside. A little bit too close for his comfort. It'll be a ball. Again, give that Channel 15 a call at 747-0151. Request times this game will be played. This is going to be to Davin. He'll stay down on it. Nice clean field, and he'll throw it up first, and it's going to be out of play. And I believe, I'm waiting to think, I think they're going to send him home, yes. No, they're going to hold him up. So he looked like he was already on the way between second and third on that overthrow, but they're going to hold him up at third base. And I wasn't quite sure why the shortstop Davin didn't play it to excuse me, I was just doing my book. Didn't play it to second base for the force out. Now Joe Garrow up. He'll be the center fielder this evening, and Garrow with a chance to give Rutland Town the first lead of the ball game. We're in the top of the first, scheduled for 7, and we could be here even longer. That's fisted. That's fisted, and boy, it's a brutal son. Chmerski called up. The ball will land between them, and Davin will pick it up, and a run will come in on that play. Oh, it looked to be the third out of the inning on a pretty simple fly ball. And I'll bring up Ben Senecal. So 1-0 Rutland Town on a couple of misplayed balls. And there's the runner going down to second base. Grusso cover the bag, but they will not throw it down. They don't want to risk the runner releasing from third base. So that will put runners now at second and third, and 2 down, 1-0 Rutland Town in the deciding game. That fastball jammed him up inside. Nice ride on the pitch, too, as it came up in the strike zone. Nope. At first, looked like Chmerski was going to take the ball, and I believe Davin called him off, and then they both kind of watched it fall between them, and that's going to be strike 2. Great location on that pitch. He's been inside, he's been outside. O'Rourke has thrown 4 outs this inning. And a lot of that could be just also, one could be the wind on that fly ball could have affected it. That's going to be high for a ball. And number two, you're talking about young men. This could be championship game jitters. They got to get that out of their system right now. But it does cost them a run on the fielding mistakes. And O'Rourke started to come off the mound. Thought he had him rung up. He's had a walk and a strikeout and a couple errors this inning. And Rutland Town looking for more. And boy, that was just a tomahawk chop. It'll be over on the River Street as Ben Senecal, who played left field tonight, got around on that pitch. No, that'll be a walk, and that'll load the bases. Came in low and possibly a little bit inside, but Senecal will become the second walk of the inning. Now Taylor Booth up, the third baseman tonight. And Taylor Booth also will get to see him this winter with a pair of skates on another outstanding hockey player. There's a lot of them. See Greg Roy's name out there on the roster for Rutland City, and O'Rourke just reared back and fired a fastball swinging strike. Sorry to talk about Greg Roy, of course, an outstanding hockey player. But right now it's baseball. It's baseball season, and it's championship game. You just can't get any better than that. This is what community television is all about. You're at beautiful St. Peter's Field. You got young men playing America's game out there on a gorgeous summer evening. The only downside is you have to listen to me talk. And actually, you don't have to do that if you just mute the TV out and watch the video. It could become a better broadcast for you. Swinging strike there, and O'Rourke looking for that third out. Almost plunked him with the ball. Breaking ball that didn't break, and Booth ducked down out of the way, and that'll be a 2-2 count. Runners everywhere on the bases for Rutland Town. And you'll get the strikeout, but it'll be 1-0 Rutland Town as we go to the bottom of the first. Post 31 coming up. So, as Mike Howe has finished up his warm-ups, I'll give you his defense. His battery mates, Matt Consolati behind the plate. Mac Shays at first. Mike McMahon's at second. Eric Max your shortstop. Taylor Booth is at third base. And up right now is Troy Davin. I'll do the outfield in just a second. As Davin, batting for post 31, will lay down a bunt. It's going to be fielded by Howe. He'll pick up and get the out. Nice job by Mike Howe coming off the mound, making a nice throw to first base. Now pick up Ryan Hammond. And that outfield real quick has Ben Senecal in left, Joe Garrow in center, and Scott Theriot in right. Rutland Town with that 1-0 lead, and that's going to hit the batter right on the shin bone. And Ryan Hammond will be down at first base. He'll be the first gentleman tonight for either side hit by a pitch. And that'll bring up Brian O'Rourke in the number 3 spot. And, of course, that leaves the big bat of Kyle Samersky in the cleanup spot on deck to be followed by the big bat of Charles Gardner as they're right in the beef of the order right now. Rutland Town winning game 1, 17-13, and that's going to could be playable. That's a nasty Sunfield. They'll settle and make the catch. That's Theriot with the catch, so that'll be the second out now of the bottom of the first. And Kyle Samersky up with 2 down, and that runner who was hit by a pitch. Ryan Hammond there over at first base. And again, just running through it. Rutland Town winning the first game. Post 31 winning the second. Runner going, and Consolati's throw is going to be late. Stolen base for Ryan Hammond. He had a great jump. And you could see the play wasn't even close. So Samersky with the tying run down at second base. That'll be outside. Notice that the delivery motion of Mike Howe, he's got a lot of movement in it. He's got some Louis Tiant stuff going, hiding the ball well. He's moving the arms around, see the movement, and then the ball coming kind of a little bit sidearm, snapping the wrist off. That'll be high for a ball. So in the top half of this inning, Rutland Town took advantage of some misplays and miscommunication by post 31 to take a 1-0 lead. And that's going to be past the catcher on a wild pitch. And you can see going down will be Ryan Hammond to third base. So now the tying run at third base. Significance of that with 2 down is another wild pitch or pass ball or an error or anything like that, and he could score. And it also was a walk to Samersky. And that's first and third for Gardner now. There's the thrower to first, the runner back safe. Now that's all right, but there comes a risk with the runner at third base, runner over to first. You got to make sure the ball gets there catchably. How's that for a word, huh? I don't know if that is a real word. I tell you, I think they're just going to concede the steal. I didn't even get the camera down in time, but there'll be a stolen base for Summersky, and we'll have two runners in scoring position. Now on my roster, I have, or in my batting order, that's a great breaking ball. I have Gardner at the plate, followed by Garuso. So Garuso's on deck. Post 31, threatening here in the bottom of the first. It's 1-0 Rutland Town. This is the Junior Babe Ruth Championship game on Munger Vision exclusively on Channel 15. Again, you can email them, you can go to the website and contact them, you can call them, but you tell them put some community baseball on. Oh, that's came in high, and oh, you can see them leaving the mound. Boy, umps don't like that. But second and third, and 2 strikes on the hitter, and that was a tad bit high. And Gardner, that'll be inside. But I tell you, it's some good eyes right there, because those are close pitches to take with the 2 strikes. And I tell you, it's got that championship feel, and the spectators and the players on the field, and boy, he ducked down out of the way, and that will load the bases now on back-to-back walks. So after cruising along the first 2 hitters, Mike Howe will be looking at Garuso with Mike Triller, the EH, on deck. So a little bit of a jam here for Howe and Rutland Town in the bottom of the first, and he might have got out of trouble right there. Oh! Consolati could sense that concrete retaining wall coming up on him and kind of shied away from making that Evel Knievel run into the wall, suicidal type catch, and the ball will go off his glove. And we will have just a foul ball strike. See if Garuso can take advantage of getting another life here. Oh, he gets the ball in play, and that's going to be to second base. Picked up, they'll flip to first, and they'll leave him loaded, and they'll stay 1-0 Rutland Town on that 4-3 ground out. That side go from McMahon down to Mac Shea. Going on top of the second, it's Rutland Town 1-0. So we have Scott Terrio starting things off, followed by Max Shea, and then the EH, Drew Allen, due up. And then Rutland Town, if they do get to a 4th spot, will be to the top of the order as they lead 1-0 in the top of the second. That'll be strike 1 from Brian O'Rourke, with Nate Swan behind the plate, behind the dish, as they say. The 7 hitters came to the plate in the first inning for Rutland Town. That's going to be strike 2 on the inside corner. 0-2 quickly here, the count. O'Rourke struck out 2 and walked 2 in that first inning, and Rutland, post 31, committed 2 errors. And oh boy, tell you what, with 2 strikes, that's a very borderline pitch to take. Looking 2 strikes, you got to get the bat on the ball and protect the plate. And right there goes to 1-2. And O'Rourke working very quickly, and that's going to be popped up. And oh, that could just be great catch by Garuso. That was one of those. That's where the wind I was talking about got a hold of it and pushed it all the way over toward first base. And Garuso did a nice job of locating it, adjusting to it, and making the catch for the first out. Mac Shea up now, Big Mac up. He'll hit from the left side. As like I said, tonight's the night. Somebody's going to get the big trophy tonight. This is the deciding game in this 3-game series. Each team obviously then with a win. Swing and a miss. Oh, nice job. Almost dropping down sidearm on that delivery, and the ball faded down and away from the left-handed hitter. Got a lot of stuff coming up on public access television. Stuff you should be seeing, like Sports Beat on Channel 15. It's on Mondays at 4:30, Tuesdays at 5:30, and Thursday night at 9 o'clock. And then it's going to be down to Summersky. He'll play it foul ball. He'll pick it up. Of course, don't forget Summersky in that the game we did here at St. Peter's Field, or I did here at St. Peter's Field. Looked like Brooks Robinson over there at third base. Phenomenal job fielding the ball. So on that foul ball, Mac will pick the bat back up. getting back into the box, and O'Rourke from the full windup, and a pitch on the way. Good night. Great break on the ball. Third strikeout for O'Rourke, and now the EH tonight is going to be Drew Allen. And this will finish the first time through the batting order for Rutland Town. Like I said, they sent 7 hitters to the plate in that first inning. They bat 10 in Junior Babe Ruth. They have an EH. And that's an accidental foul. That's a foul kind of ball where you're defending yourself. The pitcher came inside. That'll be strike 1. Oh, but to talk about Channel 15, obviously going to have a lot of fall sports from me. I can't speak for other people what they're doing. I've got Rutland boys and girls varsity soccer action, Mill River boys and girls soccer action, Rutland High School field hockey. All kinds of good stuff coming up for you. And then, when we move into October, in the studio, Channel 15, PEGTV, will have their Pumpkin Queen, the pageant, the selection of the Halloween Queen for the parade. And then, speaking of the parade itself, will be brought to you live again on Channel 15, obviously on Halloween. And just when you think you've seen all the great stuff, less than a week later, on November 4th, the first Saturday of November, from the Paramount Theater, you'll have the really big show, number 11. I'll be there to tape it. I have not been fired yet, and that'll be airing on Channel 15 all through the month of November. And O'Rourke, with his 4th strikeout in 2 innings, will retire the side. Nice job by Post 31 that inning as they settled down, but they still trail 1-0. Due up here for Post 31 in the bottom of the second. Scheduled for 7 will be Mike Triller, Nate Swan, Greg Roy. And if they get to a 4th batter, it'll be Max Battles. And don't forget, Post 31 had their chance in the bottom of the first. They had the bases loaded and to get the timely hit. So Mike Howe back out there on the mound for Rutland Town. And that is going to be a shot through the hole at shortstop for a base hit. So a leadoff single. And there he is. You can see him now as he rounds the base for Triller. Good job of being able to get the bat on the ball and driving it. So Nate Swan up to catcher tonight. He was the starting pitcher in Saturday's game. And see if they want to get that base running game going that was so aggressive early on in the series. That'll be a ball 1, and Triller stays down at first base. Triller with outstanding speed down there, being held on by Max Shea. So from the stretch, we'll see the pitch from Howe. And just broke a little bit too much outside for the strike. Be a ball on that call. See the shadows here at St. Peter's Fields. I just heard the church bells ringing at St. Peter's Church. It means it's 6 p.m. and the shadows will start coming across the field. And by the time we finish, it'll be completely encased in shadows. It's the same spot that I do American Legion Post 31 baseball action from. Now we're bringing the little 31, the Junior Babe Ruth Post 31 here. Great field, best field in Vermont. Come play on or to watch a game from the bleachers. And there goes the runner. He had tremendous jump in there. You want to never throw him out. Yeah, he was 3/4 of the way down to second base before the pitcher would let go of the ball. Big disadvantage for the catcher like that. And that'll be a stolen base for Triller. That's their 3rd stolen base as a team here. And we're only in the bottom of the second. I like that aggressive base running when I see teams at any age level do that. Whether it's softball or baseball. Oh, great pitch. That could have just enough everything. Yeah, it fell between everybody. Going to send the runner home. Triller heading in with a tying run. Will not draw the throw. He will score. Will be tied at 1. And there's Swan with that little blooper of an RBI single. That just found the right piece of turf to fall on. It fell between 3 different fielders. For Rutland Town, now Greg Roy up, the right fielder. His first at-bat this evening. So it's 1-1 in the bottom of the second. Rutland Town got the first run, and boy, again, that's a tough pitch. The runner was off and going and dropped down sidearm. Swan will be in at second base, uncontested on that wild pitch. Like I said, they're putting pressure on that defense by getting aggressive on the base pass. Max Battles is your on-deck hitter. Talked about Sports Beat earlier. Gave the times that was aired. It's on episode, well, I just finished editing and handed in episode 321. It's been on for over a decade. Even though it's not called one of the staple programs at Channel 15, I can't believe it really is. There is no single show who has kept its same core, the host, the director, producer, cameraman, editor, other than Sports Speed there for this length of time. Even the church programs have changed people over the years, as has Rutland County Humane Society shows, and all those shows. At Sports Speed was the original form, longest run. 321 shows, over a decade. And that's going to be hit toward shortstop, and they're going to get the out. Whoa, it was a gamble, and they took the lead runner out. Swan going to third base. Eric Mack cleanly handled the ball and threw him out. Roy will end up with a fielder's choice. He'll be at first base with one down. Now don't forget, Swan did not have to go. It's going to be another stolen base, and you can see Roy get up and make sure that the ball didn't get far enough away that he could just pop right back up and keep going. Now, second base, remember the situation, and he ran himself, especially with the ball hit to the shortstop who's looking right at you, right in the play on that side of the field. Now, if you want to go, you can take a good lead off from second, but make sure the shortstop throws the ball to first before you release to go to third. Right there, you just took off right for third base, and again, the key to that was Eric Mack, number 11 for Rutland Town, the shortstop. No hesitation, clean field of the ball, fired a strike to third. Tag was applied by Taylor Booth. There's the fake to second base. You see skittling back there was Greg Roy, number 9. Oh, and that's going to be up toward Eric Mack. He's going to try it again, and he's not going to get... Oh, he did! What a job by Taylor Booth getting down. And you can see Coach Battles thinking the tag was high, and the umpire showing him came down on the ankle with it. And I got to tell you, I thought they didn't have a chance at getting Booth out at all, let alone when a throw came in high. And so Battles, who was at the plate, I forgot to even mention that, gets a fielder's choice, top of the order. Troy Davenant, he grounded out. Remember, he tried to bunt his first time up, and he was thrown out by Mike Howe, the pitcher. So 1 run in, 2 outs, runner at first. 2 of the runners have been thrown out on tag plays at third base, trying to go from second to third. And I got to tell you again, though, when you look at the situation, the runner at second was not obligated to go to third on either of those tag outs at third base. Oh, great pitch. That's the inning. No, that's not the inning. I'm sorry. It's going to be a strike 2, I believe. You see the runner, Battles, going down to second base on that pitch to get away. So Davin with a chance to drive in the go-ahead run. We're tied at 1 in the bottom of the second. Winner is the champion of the Junior Babe Ruth Circuit for 2006. I'll tell you, there's already been, seems like 100 things that have happened in this ball game. We're only in the bottom of the second. I'll tell you, this is going to be a nail-biter. And that went too far outside, and good job of laying off it by Davin. Ryan Hammond is the on-deck hitter. Davin, he did some pitching in game number 2, did a nice job, and he'll come inside and walk him. Now I'll go to first and second. Now if there's a ground ball hit, the runners are obligated to move up. Now you can get a force out, not a tag out at third base. That'll bring up Ryan Hammond. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. He's getting a second look at Mike Howe. Now Mike Howe's been working a little in his first 2 innings here. Each inning he's been in a little bit of a jam. He was able to get out of the first inning with the bases loaded with no runs coming across the plate. But here in his second inning, he gave up the tying run. But Eric Mack and Taylor Booth have been able to keep it tied. Now he realizes take the easy out, and there's the force, and we're going to go to the third inning. Tied up at 1. Top of the order, Mike McMahon up. He struck out in the first inning. That was his only at bat, and he will take a big rip And that pitch came in a little bit high, just above the belt, and he'll miss it for strike one. It's execution. Well, that's going to be a base hit. That's going to be a nice hit up the middle. It'll be picked up by Ryan Hammond, and there's a base hit over there, and you can see the congratulations being doled out to Mr. McMahon as he had a solid base hit up the middle. I'll say it's the execution of your fielding, your running plays, your hitting, your things like that win the championship game. It's those little fundamental things. And right now, Post 31 made some defensive mistakes in the first inning. It cost them giving up a run, and then they made some base running mistakes in the last inning offensively that cost them possibly some runs. That's going to be a stolen base, and boy, he almost overran the bag and was tagged almost out after he had overran the bag. Mike Howe up. He walked and scored. Rutland Town's only run back in the first, and from the stretch, Brian O'Rourke will get set. And that's going to be fouled right off the end of the bat for a strike. Again, let's just quickly set that defense for you. Max Battles is at first base. Robert Russo's at second. Troy Davinger shortstop. Kyle Samirski's at third. Nate Swan's behind the dish. Brian O'Rourke's on the mound. Charles Gardner, Ryan Hammond, and Greg Roy. That's the outfield. And I'll tell you right now, from having played here and done so many baseball games here, this time of the evening, just after 6, that sun field is brutal on the left fielder, the third baseman, and the shortstop, and sometimes even the center fielder here. And it is a bright, brilliant sun right now that they got to look up into. Oh, what a tremendous break on the ball. He's had that curveball working tonight as he keeps his strikeout streak alive with at least one strikeout each inning. He's got 5 for the game, 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 here in the third. Now Matt Consolati up. He reached on a fielder's choice in his only plate appearance. And that went too far outside. Of course, O'Rourke, just a tremendous athlete, no matter what you put him on, whether it's on the diamond, on a basketball court. I'm sure if you strapped a pair of skates to him or put him on the beach with a volleyball, he'd do outstanding. That's a swinging strike on a high inside heater. And that leaving the count up at 1-1. Eric Mack is on deck for Rutland Town. And what a defensive inning Mack had, fielding and throwing runners out trying to advance to third base. They need a sign on Eric Mack, pass at your own risk over there when he's playing shortstop. That's a check swing foul ball. Tell you, an outstanding crowd here for support. I will stick around and tape the trophy ceremony for you. You won't be able to hear the PA announcer. They use a blowhorn like police negotiators use to talk through. They don't use the PA system. And a good job down third by Samirski, leaving the bag to secure the ball so it wouldn't go out of play or down the line where the runner could have scored. And that's another stolen base for McMahon. So he's had 2 in this sequence here of being on base right now. Consolati give Rutland Town back the lead here as he's got a runner at third and just 1 down. Some discussion, what the discussion was. They wanted to know, the third base coach wanted what the count was. Oh yeah, don't you worry. The coaches get as caught up in these moments right here as the players do. And that's going to be a foul ball down the first baseline. That's a good piece of hitting right there too, protecting the plate. And 2 strikes. You got to get the bat on the ball. Rourke came inside on his pitch. Has had a lot of movement tonight. Got a lively arm going out there. I don't know how many innings or what the pitch count will be for O'Rourke, but that'll be high, and he'll lay off that pitch, and it'll be the ball. Well, I tell you, the crowd support, just people still filing in. It was a 5:45 start time. Fouled straight back, and again, this is a good battle right here between Consolati, the hitter, and O'Rourke, the pitcher. Consolati calling off some real good pitches that I'm assuming would have been called strikes. And they're playing that left field position extremely deep right now for Post 31. He'll draw the walk as that fastball got away, sailed up and inside, and puts runners at first and third with 1 down. Eric Mack up, and I would be stunned if they didn't send the runner from first to second on a steal, try to draw the throw and see if they can get that runner from third base home with some aggressive base running. Now with 1 out, you'll probably see the catcher Nate Swan just eat the ball on an attempted steal. 2 outs. They didn't throw last time when the runner went. But with 2 outs, personally, I would definitely throw. Oh, they got him in a pickoff. He went too early. They got O'Rourke trying to figure out which way to go. And going to be safe at second base. What happened there was O'Rourke was very aware of, as he should have been, the runner breaking. That's what the whole play is designed to do, is to get everybody running around confused, and then the runner just kind of slides down third baseline. The runner at third slides down the line and scores. So second and third now, and they almost were able to get the out at second. It's a good piece of base running by Consolati, and that'll be just a little bit too outside for a ball, as Eric Mack reached on an error in that 7-batter first inning. And O'Rourke with that 1 out trying to... Oh, and that's going to be trouble. And that's going to drop in, and at least 1 run. And there comes the second run. So that'll be 2 RBIs. Whoops, I'm sorry, just the 1 RBI. As Consolati stayed at second base right there to make sure the ball wasn't caught. And there's the run over at first. So that will break the tie, make it 2-1, as the runner is McMahon, who came in. Remember, he singled. So 2 singles this inning and a walk and a strikeout, and Joe Garrow up. He also reached on an error. And now first and second. Still puts a force out on second or third base. Smorsky, that's going to be out of play. Yeah, he's way over on that side. But just shows you the range Smorsky has at third base. So 2-1, Rutland Town in the top of the third. They had a 1-0 lead after 1. Post 31, tied it up at 1 in the second. And here we are at 2-1 now in the third, with Rutland Town in the blue uniforms at the plate with the lead. And that's good discipline right there, laying off that breaking ball that's been so effective tonight. As A, it was high, and B, it came around the plate, never really hit the corner. And that one. Right now, O'Rourke going an awful lot to the breaking ball. First and second, 1 down. Again, left field. Greg Roy very deep out there in left field. And that will be well out of play. Ryan Hammond in center field. And Charles Gardner in... Well, actually, Gardner's in right field. I apologize for that. It's Roy in left. That's so deep. Gardner's in right. Don't forget, I watched the game from behind. Instead of like the catcher watches it from behind the base, I'm behind the center fielder watching the game. Everything's reversed to me. That takes a lot for my little brain to do, to transpose everything. Good battle here at the plate. And I believe he committed, got the second out on his second strikeout. Garrow goes down swinging, just couldn't hold up on an inside fastball. Now Ben Senecal up, and Senecal walked back into first. O'Rourke averaging 2 strikeouts an inning, has 6 for the game, and we're here in the third with 2 down, 2 on, and 2 runs for Rutland Town. The 1 run for post 31. Oh, nice piece of hitting. Nice piece of hitting. And the runners were off on the play, and they will score another run, making it 3. And there's the out as Smorsky applies the tag. The run counts, and it goes 3-1 Rutland Town as we go to the bottom of the third. Got a new pitcher, Matt Consolati, who's been doing the catching. He's now the pitcher out there, right-hander. As he comes in to the bottom of the third with a 3-1 lead, he'll be looking at Brian O'Rourke up. O'Rourke flying out to right field his first time up, and going to have a base hit right off the top of the glove of the second baseman out into right field. And O'Rourke will lead off. First ball hitting for a single. Now, I couldn't tell you because I can't see the catcher's jersey number. Obviously, he's facing me, who the new catcher is. But the rest of the defense still has Shea at first, McMahon at second, Mack at short, Booth at third. And the runner will go down. There's the ball get away from the catcher. And O'Rourke will be at second base with nobody out. Kyle Smorsky at the plate. He walked his only time up. Smorsky, a lot of juice in that bat. Will take a strike right there. Nice soft breaking ball that came in. They are shading toward the right field line on Smorsky. He can handle the bat very well. All just like that. Base hit for Swiderski, and you can see Battles, the coach, sending O'Rourke home, and he will come in to make it 3-2, and that's going to be an RBI over there for Swiderski. So 2 hits back-to-back here. And now Charles Gardner up, and Gardner, he walked also back in his last plate appearance. Runner going, and the throw down is going to be a little bit late. That'll be another stolen base. That'll be the second one of this inning for post 31. As Gardner with a chance to tie things up here. Number 2 runs came in. That's playable in center field by Garrow. Backs up, makes the catch, and boy, the runner, he almost scared me. He looked like he was going, but what he wanted to do is what he did. He wanted to draw the throw, see if they could throw the ball out of play so he could advance up to second base. Nice job by Garrow catching that ball in center field. Now Grusso up with 1 out, and that runner at second base. Now don't forget, Grusso last time up hit from the left side. They got him on the right side of the plate now. Big swing and a miss. Pulled the string on that ball. Now I'm assuming that's Grusso, because again I can't see the back of their jersey numbers. I have to go by my lineup. They don't use the PA system to announce the hitters to you. Swing and a miss right there as he swung through that. It doesn't look big enough to be Grusso, so I don't think that's Grusso. And that's going to be off from the catcher's shin guard. And Swiderski did not advance. He stayed down at second base. So everything stays the same. Runner at second, 1 run in, 1 down. New pitcher's Consolati. Boy, I tell you what, they'll wait to the last second to swing and then fall it back. So a lot happening in the 3rd inning for both teams. Rutland Town getting 2 runs in the top half. Rutland post 31 with 1 here. Now the runner will go down to third base, and Swiderski will be in standing up as he did not draw the throw. So that tying run down at third base now. And they'll jump all the way that breaking ball from Consolati that just didn't break. And that is Steve Tile, number 4. He just turned around so I could see. So Steve Tile is at the plate, number 4. And good job right there. It's either 4 or 14, and I hate to be indecisive like that. But that will be another foul ball strike. So Consolati, that's going to be on the infield. That's going to be 1 play, and that's going to be down to first base, and they'll just get him. And a tying run will come across. Okay, now I can clearly tell you that was number 14, Joe Beelan. So Beelan becomes an out, but the run comes in. Now Mike Triller up. He singled and scored in the 2nd. Sorry about all that guessing there, but it's tough 400 feet away to see, try to see a jersey number, especially from a profile shot, not from square on. So we got a 3-3 game here in the 3rd, as Rutland Town couldn't hold on to that 2-run lead. As we pulled down the first baseline where Max Shea will pick it up, step on the bag, and that's the inning. We're going to go into the 4th, all tied up at 3. Well, there's always tension in a championship game of any sport, but now we're getting into the middle innings. Scheduled for 7, we're in the 4th. It's 3-3 Rutland Town at the plate. Brian O'Rourke's on the mound for post 31, and he's facing Taylor Booth. And Taylor Booth this afternoon has struck out back in the 1st. As O'Rourke has 6 strikeouts in the game, 2 per inning. And that is a shot to center field. That is a deep shot to center field. That's over Ryan Hammond's head, and Booth's going to have at least a double. And the relay comes in late, and Taylor Booth with a lead-off double. Oh, he's a big, strong guy, and he got a piece of that ball, and he drove it to center field and beyond. And he's in business now. That's the first extra base hit of the evening for either team. I'll bring up Scott Theriault, who struck out to second base. Robert Grusso made that nice catch on the play. Let's see how aggressive they get now running the bases. You know, to me, you've been aggressive all evening. No need to change now with a second to third base situation as opposed to a first to second. No, it's a much shorter throw to third, but don't forget you got a right-handed hitter up. He's going to be in the way, obstructing the view of the catcher. That was just swinging away by Theriault. On deck will be Mac Shea. As, like I said, one team will score, the next team will answer. It's just like a heavyweight fight, each team getting punched in the face and then responding with a couple shots right back themselves. There goes the runner down to third. Booth, and the throw not happening. And he'll come in and have the base stolen. And the big difference now at third base with nobody out is that the way you can score. Hundreds of ways to score now. Well, maybe not 100, but deep enough fly ball, slow enough hit grounder, single, wild pitch, pass ball. And what they're asking now, you see Dave Cahill coming out to talk to the field umpire. I believe that's Mr. Gallipo out there. I don't want to tell you what I'm thinking of talking about, but if they make a call here that I anticipate, it'll be a huge call. So right now, we have a runner at third and nobody down for Rutland Town. Okay, it's not the call I thought. It's just, yeah, they called him out. Okay. No, they're calling, okay. They called a strike on the play, and it's only 2 strikes. Dave got a little bit ahead of himself, but Theriault will be up there now with 2 strikes on the count. And O'Rourke looking for strikeout number 7. Just missed. Went outside, set that whole thing up for going out there, and just missed. I'll say that runner at third, he's big right now. It's at 3-3 in the 4th inning, top of the 4th, scheduled for 7. Or until we have a winner, actually. And O'Rourke, again, trying to go outside and away when he was up in the count. That's smart thinking. And good job being disciplined at the plate by Theriault. Well, I'll tell you, the crowds are into it. The dugouts are into it. Oh, he's out. He took one too many looking, and that'll be strikeout number 7 for O'Rourke. And the big thing about that is it's an out and doesn't allow the runner to advance home from third base. From the left side, Mac Shea up. He struck out back in the second. As O'Rourke will fire the fastball right by Shea on the swinging strike. O'Rourke had a 1-2-3 second inning. That was it. For 1-2-3s, he's had to work, just like the Rutland Town pitchers have had to work. That comes too far inside, and it'll even things up at 1 ball, 1 strike. Oh, instead, tell you, you can feel that it's got that whole atmosphere about it, that this is the deciding game of the whole season right here. Everything you've worked so hard for. Oh, great pitch. Magnificent pitch. Froze the hitter, froze me. Strike 2, 1-2 the count. This inning started off with Taylor Booth with a monster double to center field. Then he stole third base. And boy, see again, O'Rourke, beautiful idea. He came outside, just nibbling on that corner out of the strike zone. Almost got it called a strike, but trying to get the hitter to reach out of his comfort zone. And he'll move him back inside, and we'll even things up. All right, wait a minute, that should be a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. I wish they'd use that scoreboard, that beautiful scoreboard sitting over there like they do for Legion Ball. And he will walk him. He had him in the count, but he ended up losing him. That'll put runners at first and third, 1 down for Drew Allen, who struck out back in the second. Now, that's providing they don't go to a pinch hitter. Then it'll take me about 10 minutes to figure it out. Channel 15 brings you the good stuff. Just like this Junior Babe Ruth Championship game. We've seen the Senior Babe Ruth Championship game. The Legion Southern Vermont Tournament from Fairhaven. Got in the old car and fired it up, and it made it to Fairhaven. We did that for you. So O'Rourke did that little juke move to third and then spun around, tried to get the guy. That wasn't a bad time because you've got a feeling they're going to be running from first to second. It's almost automatic in a situation like this. Well, Rourke right there now fooling around, fired a bullet over to third base. And Smirski with the catch and the tag, but the runner, Taylor Booth, back safe. And that infield is very shallow now. They're coming to try to throw the runner out, trying to stop the advancement. And they look for the bunt. Oh, what a great call from the coach. Trying to lay down the bunt. Now that wasn't a straight suicide because the runner at third would have been all the way down the line still. That was a safety squeeze. But I like it. Championship game, you got to try everything. That could be just enough of a hit, and it's going to be just enough of a hit. There comes the go-ahead run right there, 4-3. And boy, right there it was a hit just like what we'd seen earlier in the game, just far enough out of the reach of the second baseman and too far in for the outfielder. So Drew Allen will have an RBI single. And now top of the order, Mike McMahon up. He struck out in the first, singled and scored in the third, and he has had a couple stolen bases. So Rutland Town responds to the 2 runs that Rutland Post 31 scored to tie the game up, and Rutland Town gets the go-ahead run out 4-3. Oh, boy, he was swinging for downtown Rutland. Actually, when it hit downtown Rutland there, he would have been more on down on South Main Street if he would have connected with that. So McMahon down in the count, 0-1. O'Rourke, great pitch. 0-2. Now, O'Rourke's tendency has been to nibble at this point up in the count. Let's see if he just goes right after him. From the stretch, Brian O'Rourke. Got him. Just totally had him fooled. You could see the check swing. He just couldn't hold up. I think it would have been a strike anyways. And with that becomes the 8th strikeout, the second out of the inning. And Mike Howe up. He has walked and struck out and scored a run. He's out. And I missed it. I missed it. They turned around and had the play set up. I'm very sorry. I was writing down in my book, but they got Shea picked off at second base. But Rutland Town does pick up a run. That's a big get right there for Post 31. Okay, so the only change I can see defensively for Rutland Town in those dark blue uniforms out there is Nick Pennington has gone into play right field, number 7. Post 31 in the red at the plate has Nate Swan, Greg Roy, Max Battles due up here. In the bottom of the 4th, they find themselves down 4-3. They have trailed 1-0, 3-1, and now 4-3. They've been resilient, able to come back each time. Consolati on the mound, pitching in relief of Howe. That will be a ball. You see the shadows coming out further and further and further here at Old St. Peter's Field as the ball game lingers into the bottom of the 4th. And then it'll miss low. Caught the plate, but low, and it'll be ball 2. 2-0 the count, and we'll see now if he tries to come a little bit more to the sweet spot. Down 2 balls, no strikes. Oh, he did. He got away with it. Nice pitch. Swinging strike for a 2-1 count. So Rutland Town in the top half of the 4th took advantage of that leadoff double by Taylor Booth. And that came across the plate high. It's not where the catcher catches it. Got to remember that. 3-ball count to the leadoff hitter, Nate Swan. Not a guy you want to put on base. Got a lot of speed. Well, he gets around on that, and that's in that Sunfield, and going to be caught. Good defensive player out there anyways in Ben Senecal. Right there's old Ben. He'll make the catch looking into that sun. He used the bill of his cap and the glove to shield his eyes from the sun, and that'll be a fly ball out to left field. Now Greg Roy up. He reached on a fielder's choice. And boy, I tell you, the crowd just never stopped filling in tonight. There's a strike. I just want to show you something. Look at the bodies. I've done Legion in high school games here where there were not that many people. I mean, and then I'll get to the bleachers side. I mean, just all kinds of support here for this game. That's going to be popped up, and Mac has it. He called for it, and the thing there was he called off Booth. There was no hesitation. He made sure that it was communicated that that was going to be his, and it was his ball. So Roy will fly out to the shortstop, Eric Mack, and now Max battles up. He reached on a fielder's choice back in the 2nd. We're in the bottom of the 4th, and Matt Consolati looking for a 1-2-3 inning here. And Battles will have none of that as he will have a base hit. And you see they were trying to get the put out at first base as it was being charged out there by Garrow. He just overran the ball. Then Pennington picked it up and gets the ball on the play. So runner at first with 1 down. Top of the order up in Troy Davin. Nice piece of hitting by Battles there. Davin has... They're going to have a courtesy runner. Yes. They'll have a courtesy runner come on for Battles. That's Steve Tile. Okay, number 4. See where I got confused with 14 and 4. I can only see part of the jersey number before. So Battles will come out of the game, and I'll put a little bit quicker runner down at first. Now, Davin tried to bunt in the first inning, was thrown out by the pitcher, who at that point was Mike Howe. And then he walked in the second inning. Dave Cahill just trying to make sure he's got a situation under control here with the courtesy runner as far as re-entering the game. Now, I don't see where that would be a problem. I believe that Battles can re-enter the game defensively in the top of the 5th, even though he was courtesy ran for here. But I think that would spend Tile, as far as Tile could only be plugged into either the catcher's spot or come back into courtesy run for Battles. But it's not up to me to figure all that good stuff out. A lengthy discussion here at St. Peter's Field, or I'm totally misinterpreted the whole thing, and they're talking about a new hitter, but I can't believe they would hit for Davin here. And you know I can't see his number. That looks like Troy's silhouette. So here we go. 1-2 down, runner at first. 4-3 Rutland Town. And that is going to be lifted into that bright sun field and coming in and making the grab. Nice job again by Senecal as he gets the out to end the inning. They'll strand one and we'll have a 4-3 game. Rutland Town in the lead. Okay, I got a bunch of changes. I don't know if I can catch up to this. Might take me a little bit, but Matt Messier's gone into right field defensively for post 31 of Rutland City. Joe Beelan has gone into play second. It looks like Kyle Samerski's gone from third to first defensively. But I can't, they're just waiting for the coach to go down on third base. But I cannot pick up the number of the third baseman. But he's in on the edge of the grass right now, and that's going to be ball 1. To Mike Howe. Mike Howe was at the plate, remember, when they picked Mac Shea from second base. As we're in the top of the 5th. That'll be outside for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes here. And okay, now I can see the jersey number. That's going to be a swinging strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. They have taken, I already said they put Samerski at first. And strike 2. 2-2 the count. So nice job of coming back to even the count up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Looks like Charles Gardner has gone into third base. I'm just trying to figure out the outfield now. And boy, that is going to be a base hit. Yeah, it'll drop right in front of the center fielder, Ryan Hammond. And okay, the left fielder now, I got you, becomes Steve Tile. So the outfield's Tile, Hammond, and Messier. Samerski's at first. Gardner's at third. Your second baseman remains Beelan. Now he's new. Beelan's at second, and Davin remains your shortstop. So I think I'm caught up on the defensive changes. But I got it marked down. That base hit for Mike Howe. Now Matt Consolati up. Consolati has started the game at the catcher spot. He's now the pitcher. He has walked and struck out and scored a run. Actually, he hasn't at all. He's walked and reached on a fielder's choice and scored a run. I get caught up in a moment. You think there's tension on the field. I'm up here with biting my fingernails and eating Rolaids. And geez, and crow, this has been a great game. Any championship of any game of any gender is always a great event. This is living right up to it. It's played on a great stage here at St. Peter's Field. Runner going, and that creates the base hit. I'll explain that to you in just a second. It's a runner heading to third base. There he is. He'll be in there. And what happened was the runner took off, Mike Howe did, to steal second base. The shortstop, Davin, vacated the hole at short to cover the bag. And then the hitter, Consolati, hit it right where Davin would have been standing. So everything is relevant to everything. And that was a great hit and run. First and third, nobody down. Eric Mack up. Mack reached on an error in the first and singled in the third. Remember, he had an RBI and then got tagged out. So Mack trying to make a Mack attack. As there's time called, and must have been the hitter that asked for it, because no conference is going on anywhere, and everybody seems okay on the bases. First and third, see if they send the runner from first to second. Try and draw the throwdown. Remember, they did that earlier, and O'Rourke got everybody in a pickle and ended up with nobody down. That's, you know, we're in the fifth, scheduled for 7. That's a huge run sitting out on those bases right now for Rutland Town. They're only up to 1 run at 4-3. Great pitch. Oh, they're going to throw down. I like this. There's the cutoff, and yeah, they brought the shortstop in, Davin, in case the runner broke early from third. He was going to cut the ball off and try to get him. Second and third, and Eric Mack now. Looking for the big, timely hit. A lot of pressure. These young men put themselves under a lot of pressure in games like this. Championship game, Junior Babe Ruth. Tell you got to be careful, too, to remember not to get called for a balk here. That would allow the runner to move up. That'd be a score. Sometimes you get a little too preoccupied, especially in this situation, second and third. It's not like first and second. And O'Rourke might be a little out of focus on the hitter. Comes in high. And Mack, a very good hitter as far as knowing that strike zone also. We'll lay off that pitch. 2 singles have started off this inning, and we're going to have Coach Battles talking to Dave Cahill. Now, I have no idea what he could be saying. But it is a chess match here as we get later into the title game. Again, I'm glad I was able to get here Saturday. I'm glad I was able to get here today. If I'd known about the first game here out in town, I would have been glad to be there. And O'Rourke, now I'm not sure if what his pitch count is. He's had some long innings. He had a 1-2-3 inning in second. After that, he's had to work throughout the innings. I don't know if he's getting a little fatigued or a little distracted. And that is going to do some damage. There's another big hit by Eric Mack, and here comes the second run in, and yeah, it's going to score, and Mack will end up at second base as he will help get 2 runs in here. That will make it a 3-run cushion. And then an error on the play allowed him to go to second base. Joe Garrow up, he's reached on an error and struck out. Still nobody down. That's the big one too, and besides those 2 runs coming in, to make it 6-3. Rutland Town with the lead, looking to cap off the season with a championship here in the Junior Babe Ruth deciding game against Rutland Post 31, who's in the red uniforms. And that is going to be a wild pitch and allow Eric Mack easily to go down to third base. And I'm not sure who they would bring in, who's available to bring in for an arm if O'Rourke's unable to get out of the 5th. One thing he's doing is he's rushing his mechanics right now. He's feeling that sense of urgency that he's got to get something big here done. And when they do that, pitchers do that, they have a tendency to rush through their mechanics. He didn't rush through him that time. That was a good pitch and on the fist, and it would just be a foul ball strike. Hit the screen and came back and be picked up by Swan. So Eric Mack, his last 2 times up, solid hits, resulting in runs. 2 runs in so far here in the 5th for Rutland Town. They've got 6 for the game, and that one started to break back, but didn't break back soon enough, and it'll be a ball. Joe Garrow at the plate, Ben Senecal on deck. Got a dandy for you on Channel 15 tonight. Same pitch, same result. Gonna O'Rourke. Right now, I'm looking for bullpen action. Nobody warming up. And that will be just foul. Tell you what, he had that one pretty timed out. for the breaking ball and got around on it and pulled it foul. Did Joe Garrow. And with a runner at third, you could see that O'Rourke went to the indicate like he's going to go to the full windup instead of the stretch. Yeah, he's in the full windup right now. And that was a little chin music, a little too tight. First and third on the walk, and they're still looking for the first out. Ben Senecal, he singled and had an RBI his last time up. As O'Rourke will definitely go from the stretch now, the runner at first. Garrow with really good speed. Now it's just a matter of what pitch do you send Garrow on from first to second on the steal. 6-3. Rutland Town has had various leads throughout the night. Remember, they broke on top 1-0 after one, and then Post 31 tied it at 1-all in the second. 2 runs by both teams in the third kept the game tied at 3. Then 1 run in the fourth broke that tie at 4-3 Rutland Town. And Rutland Town with 2 more runs so far here. There goes the runner, and it's that same cutoff play. And Garrow will have second base, and the runner stayed at third. This has the makings of a big inning, considering that there's second and third, 2 runs already in, and nobody down. This could become the bookmark moment of the ball game. Oh, that's hit hard, and what a great catch by Tile as he's trying to get it in for the double play. And they're going to have the runner safe at home. I thought they're going to try to go back to second, but the runner smartly never moved up, and the sweep tag was missed. And Tile with a great catch and a close play at home base. So Senecal with 2 RBIs and 2 singles tonight. Now Taylor Booth up who had a double and scored in the fourth. So it goes 7-3. Rutland Town with the lead. On that play, the runner went back and re-tagged third base, and that's why I thought they really were going to have a shot at him there. I thought they were looking for the double play. I didn't know. I had lost track of Garrow at second. I thought he might have strayed too far off the bag, and they could just throw him back when he was trying to get back to the bag. But instead, the play came home. I wasn't aware the runner was going to be that adventurous, and he made it. Now it's Eric Mack that came in to score the third run. As the first out, it is recorded on a beautiful catch by Steve Tile. Taylor Booth against Brian O'Rourke. Oh, he pulled that one and almost hit the coach down at third base, but it'll be a foul ball strike. And O'Rourke in this inning, like I said, I don't know if it's fatigue or just frustration, but he's been hanging a few breaking balls. They had kind of lost their snap here in the fifth. 7-3 Rutland Town in the deciding game. There's a strikeout for O'Rourke. That's the first out. Booth caught on strike 3. Now this is Terriot's spot, but it should be Pennington who came in defensively to replace Terriot. And until I see different, I will go with Pennington. Nick Pennington at the plate. There goes the runner, and the throw down to third, and he's going to be in there. Garrow will be safe. The catcher, Swan, had a little bit of a problem getting the ball out of the glove and making the throw clean. So Rutland Town doing a job. You see O'Rourke come in to cover the base, home base on that play. Swan hustled to the ball, and the runner stayed down at third base. Senecal flied out to Tile. That's Garrow down at third. And everybody digging in now. Oh, big swing and a miss. And yeah, I thought it was in. So he'll get 2 strikeouts for 10 for the game, but more important, some runs come across, expand that lead to 7-3 Rutland Town going in the bottom of the 5th. Oh, we got a lot of things to talk about. We'll start with the pitcher out there. Eric Mack is the new pitcher, and he could be coming on in the closing role in the 5th. with only 5th, 6th, and 7th left right now in a 7-3 score Rutland Town lead. He's going to be looking at Ryan Hammond, Brian O'Rourke, and Kyle Semersky. And that'll be inside for a ball from Mack. O'Rourke has flied out to right field and singled and scored a run. That does not look like Brian O'Rourke's jersey number, but I'll have to wait and see. Again, it's 400 feet away. It's tough to tell because, again, they don't use the PA system here. It looks like double digits on the back. And you know, I swear that is not Brian O'Rourke. That's Ryan Hammond, because that's who's due up. I might have actually said that. Ryan Hammond's been hit by a pitch in the first inning, and that's a good eye right there. So I apologize. It's Ryan Hammond at the plate to lead things off in here against Eric Mack. And he will draw the walk, and Hammond, again, down there with real good speed. I expect to see him stay aggressive on the base pass. Now O'Rourke's up. He flied out to right field, singled and scored, and Kyle Semersky's on deck. Remember, no lead is safe in any sport. 7-3, it's just a 4-run deficit, and that's a great pitch for Mack. Oh, that was a knee burner. I'll tell you what, it is just jamming here with enthusiasm from the dugouts and from the stands. Strike 2, run scorer goes down to second, and nice job getting a big jump by the base runner, Ryan Hammond. So Hammond with a stolen base, strike 2 called, 0-2 the count to O'Rourke. Got to protect the plate now with those 2 strikes. And boy, you got a piece of it, and goes down to third. See him check the runner back. Now the throw, and he'll get him. And the runner caught in no man's land. And he's really in a pickle now. And he's going to get back just ahead of it. That would have been disastrous to get thrown out. With 1 down. Runner still at second base as it'll be a ground out by O'Rourke. And now Semersky up. He's walked and singled. He scored, and he has an RBI. So he has been busy with the bat yet again today, Kyle Semersky. Now you see the shadows all covering the infield. Tell you what, it's been a very well umpired game, both behind the plate and in the field, and I would never have doubted that at all just after seeing the gentleman here to do the game. Big swing and a miss by Semersky as he chased that one. He's a lefty, don't forget, and that pitch came and tailed away from him. He tried to go out there and get it. Oh, this is good stuff tonight. Oh, that one just missed by Mack. If anything, it had to be just a little bit low. 1 down, 1 on, 7-3. Post 31 trailing, and at the plate trying to do something about it. And boy, did he fight that off. That is going to be a fair ball. That's going to score the run. They're going to have him come in now. Hammond will score, and you can see in the front right there, the runner going down to second. It is Semersky with an RBI. And he'll have a double. And that was a good piece of hitting right there as that pitch was kind of up and in, and he was able to fight it off with all that strength and drive it to the opposite field. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this. McMahon's at first base defensively now. Mike Leonard's in the game at second. And that's lifted, and that's going to be over the head. And that's going to allow another run to come in as Semersky will cut the corner. And the very sure-handed outfielder out there in Ben Senecal might have been maybe just shielded enough by the sun there as Gardner will drive in a run. And all of a sudden, that 4-run lead's now 2 at 7-5, and should be Beelan up. It is. Remember, he came in. That's going to be out from the catcher's glove, and that will allow Gardner to go down to third base. Beelan hitting in the place of Garuso, who started at second base and then was replaced, I believe, in the, I want to say fourth. Could have been third. Triller on deck. Tying run at the plate. And you knew this wasn't going to be a blowout. So Rutland post 31 trying to answer that 3-run top of the 5th by Rutland Town. They've scored 2 here so far in the bottom of the 5th. And again, just trying to catch up. Taylor Booth is at third. Matt Consolati's gone to shortstop. So Consolati has started at catcher, did some pitching, and now he's the shortstop. And McMahon, Mike McMahon, is at first base defensively. Then the outfield has Ben Senecal, Joe Garrow, and Nick Pennington. And your pitcher is Eric Mack. And that is a good job of staying alive with 2 strikes. As Beelan will foul that off. There is the 1 out and a runner at third base. 7-5, Rutland Town in the blue uniforms with the lead, and they're in the field defensively. Oh, nasty stuff. See Dave Cahill in control behind the plate. Check with all the umpires. And point to first base. First and third on the walk. And I'll tell you what, that was a very borderline pitch to take with 2 strikes. Triller up now with first and third, 1 down. Triller has singled, scored, and grounded out to first base. And they are going to hold the runner on first base. Bach, that's a Bach, yeah. He came up and he had to finish the move, and that's going to allow the run to come in. The runner will go down to second, but the big one is that right there. You see Gardner come in to score on the Bach. It was a correct call. It was a good call. You cannot come up like that. And there is, you can see the players a little upset. And this is where you kind of got to step in, and you don't want to get charged with a visit to the mound, but they've got to kind of get back to business here and try to refocus on what's going on in the field right now. So a Bach brings the game to a 1-run game now, as Triller with Beelan down at second. That pitch high for a ball. No, you can be upset. It's an emotional game. Sports is always emotional. But now you can't let that carry through, and you can't forget what your job is right now, which is to throw strikes. Not strikeouts, just strikes. So strikeouts are great, but what you want to do is keep the ball so that your defensive people can make a play on them. They can't make a defensive play on a walk. So 3 runs in so far here, and that makes it 7-6. And that is going to be foul ball. You can see out there a little help on the call from Ben Senecal. And I'll tell you what, with the left-handed hitter up, they had Senecal really shifted towards center field, and that's a lot of territory he just covered to go back over there. And the sun, there's about a 12 to 15-foot gap in the shadows where the sun is just beaming in, and it's right in Senecal's eyes. Oh, boy, that just did miss. See Matt kind of react there. That was a close pitch. Outside, though, Dave Cahill says, Triller up there. He represents the go-ahead run. Oh, he just pulled the string on it. That was a big strikeout by Mack right there. Got a tough hitter out. Now Nate Swan up with 2 down. Nate Swan coming up in a 7-6 game. And that is going to... Whoops, I missed. You know what? I'm really sorry about that. I was looking up, and I thought it was going to be hit differently, but it's going to be caught at short. He'll have 3 runs, so it'll be 7-6 going into the 6th inning. Rutland Town with the lead over post 31. And Brian O'Rourke is done for the night on the mound. He's gone to the shortstop position. They brought in Troy Davin. So Davin with some last-minute instructions from his catcher, Nate Swan. And Mike Triller's gone to left field. Ryan Hammond's in center. Matt Messier still in right. Beelan remains at second base. O'Rourke's now at shortstop, and the pitch coming in will be high for a ball. And a little bit inside, actually. This is Mac Shea's spot. But I don't think it's Big Mac out there. I'll have to wait and see if I can get the view of the number of the jersey. That'll be inside for ball 2. 2-0 from Troy Davin. Davin pitched the other game 2 here the other day, Saturday. Pitched very well. I believe he actually got the win in the game. And the windup. And a foul ball. That looks like Leonard, number 13. But again, that's a long way for an old guy to see. Not Leonard, me. Drew Allen is due up next if they go to Drew Allen. Good pitch. So Davin's come back now to even things up at 2-2 after being down 2-0 in the count. Leadoff hitter, mega important to get out of here. For any team, softball or baseball. Oh, what a break on that ball. That was just helpless feeling right there for the hitter. So O'Rourke, who had 10 strikeouts, and now Davin makes it 11 with his strikeout as a team, and that will bring up the EH position. Now, like I said, I have Drew Allen in that spot, but they've been plugging people in and out throughout the evening. Big cut on that. Going to be down at third base. Gardner will pick it up and get the out at first. Yep, they'll dig it out. Okay, so I got number 3. See, I had to zoom in to see if I can see the jersey number, and that is Drew Allen. So 2 down here, and top the order, McMahon up. He struck out twice, he has singled, and he has scored a run. So in the top of the 6th, Rutland Town facing Troy Davin for the first time this evening, trying not to allow him to have a 1-2-3 first inning of work. That pitch will be outside, and a good eye by McMahon. Mike Howes on deck. It's a 7-6 Rutland Town lead in the championship game. This is it. The winner of this is the winner of the whole kit and caboodle. And I have never figured out what a kit and caboodle is, but I've heard that my whole life. That's been a long time. Great ball game. Glad I had this slot open to come and do it. Foul ball. Foul down the first baseline, and that'll be a strike, and that should make it 1-1. Thank you for bearing with me as I try to keep up with the changes, and sometimes I do miss a play, as you've seen twice tonight. A lot of times I'm looking at a different portion of the field, or I'm looking down at my book trying to keep that, or I just blew it. That's going to be foul, and you can see Davin scooped that up as quick as he could so that it had no chance to come back into fair territory. And that would have been completely impossible to throw the runner out. And it's just that time of night, too. You can see a little bit of the sun. So when I do that with my hand, it shades the lens. I can't do the whole game like that. My eye would get tired. But the sun playing with the lens right now on this beautiful summer evening in Rutland, Vermont, USA. 2 down, bases clear, 7-6, Rutland Town, and the pitch. And that's going to be the short, picked up by O'Rourke. He's pretty automatic, and he'll have the out, and Davin will come in the 6th and shut him down. 1-2-3 goes Rutland Town. Eric Mack on the mound, and this looks like Matt Messier out there. And first ball swinging, and it's going to be, off the glove of Garrow. And heading in towards second base, standing up, yes. Remember, he was inserted in the ballgame 2 innings ago. That's his first at bat. And Matt Messier with a big double to lead things off here. And boy, he wasted no time in getting his rips. And that's a double with nobody down, and that will bring up the first base slot. Yeah, and on the pass ball, the runner stayed at second. I'm just trying to catch up to who that would be at the plate. I have Max Battles at the plate. He showed bunt, and he's going to finish it out, and he's going to be gone. Yeah. He hesitated. The bunt was missed. It was a contact play, and then he hesitated on the run, and then usually when you hesitate, you're better off just to turn around and go back to second base. He tried to finish it out, and that leadoff double is gone. That is a huge out for Rutland Town. That will go to third base. Taylor Booth with a long throw, and a nice scoop at first base by McMahon. We'll have Battles out. That'll become a 5-3 ground out, and all of a sudden, after a lot of hoopla over a leadoff double, it becomes a 2 outs, nobody on, and top of the order, Davin up. But on that contact play, they're trying to bunt him over to third base. It could, looked more like a sacrifice than it would have been. If you got a base hit on the bunt, great. But they're trying to move the runner along, and even if you miss contact, the best thing to do is just start hard and finish hard. But once you stop and hesitate, you saw the result. Swing and a miss for strike 2. As Eric Mack fired up here in the bottom of the 6th. Gave up a leadoff double. Got him, and that's the inning. Eric Mack with a big finish in the 6th. Holds on to that 1-run lead. 7-6 Rutland Town as we go to the top of the 7th. The only defensive change that I see for post 31 in the red in the field defensively is Cody Badgley's out there in right field, number 17. Troy Davin's job, pretty simple. Keep it a 1-run game going in the bottom of the 7th. Give your team their best chance, their shortest deficit to have to make up. It'll be Davin on the mound, Swan behind the plate. Mike Howe will be the hitter. And again, that is Smirski at first defensively. Beelan's at second. O'Rourke's at short. And Gardner is at third. Hammond remains in center field. I already mentioned Badgley is in right and Triller is in left. So here we go. 7th inning, championship game, Junior Babe Ruth. Each team's won a game. This is the elimination game. And there's a ball from Davin. And I'll tell you what, both fan bases and dugouts are just buzzing. Davin, that'll be a hard chopper up over his head and through the infield. It'll be a base hit to lead things off here. As that hit that hard-baked ground and just found a crack to slide through. And Mike Howe, been on base 3 times tonight. He's walked and scored twice. And he has 2 singles now. And at the plate is Matt Consolati. They would love Rutland Townwood to get an insurance run, a little padding here. Oh, he turned on that ball, and he hit it for another base hit. It goes out to Triller, first and second for Rutland Town with nobody out. So back-to-back singles will bring up Eric Mack, who's been on base all 3 times tonight, twice with singles and once on an error. And Troy Davin's got to reach down deep inside here and pull out. First of all, he's got to be careful to a very good athlete, a very good hitter in Mack. But you still got to go after him. You don't want to lock the bases full here. Oh, Mack pounds it up the middle, 3rd base hit in a row, and they're going to send the runner as he comes around 3rd base to the bag, and he's going to be out at the plate. What a huge play. They cut the run down at the plate, and I believe that it was the center fielder, Hammond, who retrieved the ball and got it in. Out at the plate on the 3rd base hit of this inning. Runners do move up to 2nd and 3rd for Joe Garrow. So they keep it 7-6 on that phenomenal play, and that's a strike on that tremendous curveball. Mack, let's go back to Mack. He's last 3 times up, he has 3 solid singles. That's popped up, and it's going to be called for by O'Rourke. He'll make the catch, and 2 outs now. Runners unable to move up on the play. And Troy Davin, 1 out away from getting out of this sticky situation he got into. Ben Senecal up. And Senecal is a tough out here. He's an outstanding ball player. And again, Rutland Town up just the 1 run. Don't forget to credit the catcher, Swan, with the tag on the play, too, to get it down quickly and get the tag. Now, like I said, I think it went Ryan from center field, but I missed the relay in between. I want to say Beelan at second, but I can't guarantee that was the link in the throw home. Oh, this game's been full of big hits and big plays and big pitches. This has been a great championship game. And you've seen it on Community TV, Channel 15. That's going to be a tough play. That's going to be a tough play. They'll charge, and they can't do it. Run will come in. It had trouble written all over it. The minute it was just a dinker off the bat, far enough away from the pitcher, and just out of the reach of a hard charging 3rd baseman Gardner. And that will bring in that insurance run as Consolati scores, and now Taylor Booth up. And boy, this Rutland Town lineup just all the way through it. 1 through 10 in the order. Tough outs. First and third. There goes the runner from first to third. The ball hit. And they're looking to make the play on it. And did he catch it? What a great catch! Ryan Hammond robs him of at least one, possibly two runs. Keeps his team within two. A big league catch right there by Hammond for the third out. Post 31 coming to the plate, down 8-6 in the title game. We come to the bottom of the seventh. It's been confirmed 8-6 officially. Rutland Town with the lead. And I tell you, you don't even need to hype a game like this. Calling sports is a fluid, non-scripted event. That's why it's so easy to tell people what you're watching. The hard part is to convey the emotion, the sensational plays, the emotion on the field to you at home. This game has had it all, and it continues to have it all. Ryan Hammond, who made that tremendous catch to end the top of the seventh at the plate. What you didn't hear or see was after he made the catch on his run back to the dugout, the crowd started to chant, Ryan, Ryan. He'll pop up, and Taylor Booth will put the first out away, and it's Rutland Town now just 2 outs from claiming the Junior Babe Ruth Championship of 2006. They won the first game coming back from a 12-1 deficit to win 17-13. They lost here Saturday 10-3. And first ball hitting, and that's going to be to center field, and it's going to drop in and be picked up by Garrow. So there is the runner at first base, Brian O'Rourke. And the tying run coming to the plate. So Brian O'Rourke with his second single came at the perfect time. 1 on, 1 out. Kyle Semersky up. Semersky has singled and doubled. He's driven in runs tonight and scored a couple. Yeah, and what I didn't move because I was doing my book was a slide back to first by the thrower to first. O'Rourke was safe. He slid back, and boy, he might have been shaken up on that play. Yeah, they called time. Yeah, and see, he did. Now, I don't know if he jams something. No, it's his leg. He dove back head first, and hopefully this will be just a very minor thing. So Eric Mack on the mound trying to get the final 2 outs here and give Rutland Town the title for Junior Babe Ruth. Semersky, big bat, a lot of power at the plate. Big hitters in these situations. Key moment, you got your big hitter up, Semersky. Then your on-deck hitter is Gardner as at the power portion of their order. Tying run at the plate, bottom of the seventh. He'll step into it, and he'll drive it up the middle for a base hit. O'Rourke's leg looks pretty good now as he'll race into third base, and he'll be there standing up. First and third. Tying run at first. Semersky delivers a crunching blow up the middle. Now, what I have noticed in this whole series, when Eric Mack gets into a tight situation, is when he seems to do his best. It brings his best out in him. Gardner will take ball 1 high, and there goes Semersky down uncontested. I understand the hesitation to throw down, but if you get him, even if the runner from third releases, you have a 1-run lead, 1 out, and the base is clear. Right now, you put the tying run at second base with 1 down. Gardner off the fist and out of play. We're in the big crowd on the Rutland Town side. Oh, I tell you, I got goosebumps. I wish I could put my arm in front of the camera for you and show them to you. I love, this is the best community service you can do, is being a CIP at Channel 15 and get to record history like this for the community. That's off the fist and looks to be like it could be playable. And did he make the catch? Oh, great effort. Great effort. He dropped the ball, but tremendous effort. Tell you what, that was close to being a spectacular play. Second and third, 1 down. 8-6. And that's going to get the job done. It'll be picked up, and they're going to hold him up. Nope, they held him up. They didn't want to Then on the trail of that play, the runner smartly went up. See, Gardner smartly took second. Second and third, 1 run in, 1 down. And that now becomes an 8-7 game winning run at second base. Oh, my goodness. And Beelan up. And they're going to have our first conference is they're going to talk to Eric Mack. And I know they're definitely not going to take Mack out. They're just going to discuss stuff here. Now listen, it's only 8-7. You're up 1. Worst thing is obviously to lose the game. But if you get the ball hit to you and you've only got the 1 play at first and the run comes in, you're still tied. You're not lost. You haven't lost yet. You're still tied. You got to remember that. If it's the only play you have is to get it out at first, do it. Concede the tie, play for the third out, go to extra innings. Make good decisions. Beelan will turn away from that pitch. It almost got him. Post 31 on their top step of the dugout. Rutland Town on the top step of the dugout, and each fan base just getting it. Oh, big swing and a miss. Mack with 1 down. Got a swinging strike there on Beelan. Tying run at third. Winning run at foul ball. Winning run is down at second. Started the inning off by getting Hammond out on a pop-up to third base where Taylor Booth made the catch. There are some cranked-up athletes on the field right now. I mean emotionally cranked up, not like Tour de France cranked up. Oh, he went up and playable. Yes. They will not send the runner, and the throw coming in, and you can see why they didn't send the runner. 2 down now. That catch by Senecal. And then the throw on the fly home and Triller up. Beelan gave it a ride, but right there to make the catch was Senecal. 2 outs, 1 out away from claiming the 2006 Junior Babe Ruth Championship. Now they move their infield back. They had the infield in to cut down the run. That's going to be up the middle. And through! It's going to be a base hit! The tying run has come in! Here comes the winning run into play, and Rutland Post 31 is going to win the game at the bottom of the 7th in a come-from-behind game. They will win it 9-8. Triller will have the winning RBI. It was a single up the middle by Mike Triller. What a ball game. Fantastic effort by both teams. Great job by the umpires. Tremendous coaching by both sides. So in a game that saw Rutland Town have leads several times, one time as high as 4 runs, as close as 1 run, they will lose it in the bottom of the 7th in the last at-bats, 9-8. Mike Triller driving in the winning runs. And we will have the trophy ceremony in what has been just a tremendous 3-game tournament. And it seemed only fitting to have it end in such dramatic fashion. Now, I'm not saying in favor of Post 31. It could have been Rutland Town that made a great diving play there to end the game. It's just, it had to end tight and close and a nail-biter, and it did. And my heart goes out to Rutland Town. Congratulations to Post 31. They're the Junior Babe Ruth champions of 2006. Not only did they come from behind in tonight's game, they also came from a 1-0 deficit to win the last 2 games. They're going to set up, have the trophies. That's where I'll pick you back up. 9-8. An incredible ball game here on Channel 15 Sports on Munger Vision. And boy, oh boy, you weren't here, but it was recorded for our community archives, and I hope you just call for this endlessly to be played. As they start the post-game festivity, they'll hand out the hardware. They'll start with Rutland Town, the runners-up for the 2006 season. Don't forget to play in the top of the 7th when they threw Mike Howe out trying to score for Rutland Town. At that moment, you knew it was a big play, but you just didn't know how big it was going to be until the bottom of the 7th. And they're going to have the individual trophies handed out, and then the bigger trophies. You see the coaching staff come out. Now, what I will do here is I'll zoom in as close as possible. I'm from 400 feet away. I'm on digital zoom, so it'll get pixelated or won't be as sharp looking. But I will read I can't hear the PA guy or the guy with the blowhorn, Jamie. But I will just read through the roster, okay? And it might not match up with who's actually getting their trophy at the time, but it'll give you the name of the players. So there's Mike McMahon, Mike Howe, Matt Consolati, Eric Mack, Joe Garrow, Ben Senecal, Taylor Booth, Scott Terrio, Mac Shea, Drew Allen, Nick Pennington, and Mike Leonard. That's the roster for Rutland Town. They had a 1-0 lead at the end of one. They had a 3-1 lead going into the bottom of the third. Post 31 tied it up then. They had a 4-3 lead after 4. They extended to 7-3 in the top of the 5th, but they just couldn't hold it at 8-6 in the bottom of the 7th, and Post 31 came through with a rally to win it 9-8. And you're watching Rutland Town receive their trophies, their individual trophies, in what was just a phenomenal, supported by the fans, played to the max by the players, and just an incredible ball game. Munger Vision, always there for you. Oh, it was a blast. Now, website's www.pegtv.com. You can call them at 747-0151. Or you can go right down to Building 24 in the House Center and say, let's put that championship game on for the Junior Babe Ruth again. But again, there are so many big plays. Ryan Hammond with that diving catch going to his left for the third out at the top of the 7th. That would have definitely let one more run in for Rutland Town. And then don't forget that they threw the Mike Howe out trying to score earlier in the top of the 7th. So there's 2 runs right there cut down. Every run comes back. Every run plays part of the game. It's a different sentence in a chapter. Everything builds toward the finished product. Those are big plays right there in the top of the 7th. And again, I've read the roster for Rutland Town as they get their hardware. You know the thing too that impresses me so much. Oh, it's tough to lose. Absolutely it is, sure. Game like this, title game. But the sportsmanship, the heads up, it's just nice to see somebody know how to take a game like this and respond with dignity. And that was nice to see. And then on the reverse side of that, winners, same deal. All good sportsmanship, a lot of class. It's refreshing after watching pro sports to see something like this. You can see the big trophies there and the coaches heading back to the dugout. Phenomenal job by the whole team coaching staff and, of course, the support of the parents that make it all possible. Rutland Town with an 8-6 lead going into the bottom of the 7th. Then a 3-run rally by Post 31, culminating in that game-winning hit by Mike Triller. Now I'll do the same thing. I can't hear the guy with the blowhorn, so I'll just read the roster to you, okay? First, we have Rick Battles come out, the head coach for Post 31. Of course, Rick, a 78 graduate of Rutland High School. Now, Rick's older son, Casey, was on the winning senior Babe Ruth team. Actually, had 2 doubles in the game, had a fantastic game. Now his younger son, Max, part of the Junior Babe Ruth Championship team. So they're going to have to make some room for a bunch of trophies over at Rick's place. But Troy Davin is on the roster. Ryan Hammond, Brian O'Rourke, Kyle Samersky, Charles Gardner, Robert Caruso, Mike Triller, Nate Swan, Greg Roy, Max Battles, Joe Beelan, Cody Badgeler, Matt Messier, and Steve Tile. That's the roster. As you'll see, the players stay right out there on the field. As we wrap it up here for the 2006 baseball season. Here at Munger Vision brought you high school baseball, high school softball, the softball Division II championship game with Otter Valley Linden out in Poultney, Vermont. Brought you all the home games of the American Legion Post 31 team here at St. Peter's Field. Brought you Senior Babe Ruth title game, Junior Babe Ruth title games. Went to Fairhaven, did the Southern Vermont Legion tournament. There's no other sports other than the Herald. Well, actually, the Herald wasn't even here for this. This will be called in. There's no other sports coverage that can boast that type of coverage for you. Just not only do I do the big guys and ladies, the varsity teams and the Legion teams, but I'll gladly come and do your junior and senior Babe Ruth teams, your mite hockey, your squirt hockey, all that good stuff. That's what community and community television is all about. Post 31 out there in the red with the trophies being handed out. They are the 2006 Junior Babe Ruth champions in dramatic fashion, coming from one game down to none, and coming from a 9-8, or excuse me, coming for a 9-8 win, trailing in the bottom of the 7th. Triller with the game-winning RBI. And again, the umpires did a wonderful, wonderful job tonight. Again, don't forget the really big Show 11 coming up at the Paramount Theater on November 4th. That's a Saturday. Starts at 7 o'clock. Tickets on sale. Get them early. They're pushing for a sellout. They came so close last year to selling out every seat there that you really, if say something happens and you can't get your ticket, right? Don't worry. Okay? I'm going to be there. I'm going to tape it. You'll be able to watch it on Channel 15. But it's for the United Way of Rutland County. It's a great fundraiser for a tremendous cause. Remember, Munger Vision brought you the recap of the Relay for Life this year up at Alumni Field. That was for the American Cancer Society. Well supported, very well supported as they beat their goal. Over $150,000 raised in that event. As they get done with the individual trophies, they need the big one now. There's the big one. And Coach Battles will hoist it. First he'll kiss it, then he'll hoist it in the air. And tremendous effort by both teams tonight from St. Peter's Field on Channel 15. Now, just see if they gather around. If the coach keeps that, won't anybody touch it. Post 31, 9-8 with the win over Rutland Town. Junior Babe Ruth Championship. As you sign out on the team gathering around the trophy, Jerry Munger, Munger Vision, saying get out there, support all the youth activities in your area, your student athletes. Go to the drama clubs. Watch the drama festivals, the music clubs, all that good stuff. It's a blast. Get out there, enjoy your community, and always watch Channel 15.